MLB, where they have like cutouts of fans in the stadium. I
Yeah,
think that's kind of cool. I like that.
yeah. My favorite. There was a pitcher for the Astros who just went and sat in all the cutouts, like after, like during the game, was just out there
Uh-huh.
chilling with the fake fans. Thought that was kind of
That's
funny.
cute. I mean, best of a bad situation, I suppose.
I
I don't know.
just had to check, make sure, because I think the last time I did this, I had the middle stick scenes, but I was on Get Wrecked, so I was like, should probably be streaming to our Twitch channel.
Gotta check the stream key. Don't leak the stream key though. I mean, I guess you could.
Well, luckily
That
I
would
just
be
have them set
that'd
up
be
to.
exciting.
Luckily, I just have them set up to profiles, so it's just.
Oh, that's too big brain. I want you to have to go in and change it every time.
Big security. Yeah.
Wait. So how does this shit work? Oh, I have to move it to a folder, don't I? So I have to cut these. This PC, C drive, Riot, League of Legends,
Game.
Rad
Game.
game,
It used to be Rads. They've moved it,
game,
but
data or logs.
it's just game. The executable should be in the game folder.
Oh, and then I can just drag.
Yep.
Oh, so do I need to paste them in here though?
You can put them in there. I usually do because it's easier, but
Oh, what's LIC stand for?
what's the enemy team? That's Lost in Chalupa.
Lost in Chalupa. Is that like Lost in Translation? Is that like a? Is that a reference to the movie, or is it just
It's two of their players, Lost in
Lost in
Rotation and
Rotation?
Drop the Chalupa.
I wonder if Lost in Rotation is that a Lost in Translation reference?
I mean, it's probably like a combination of that and just like the league concept of rotations, right?
Maybe. Yeah. I want it to be a pun. And if it's not, frankly, I'll just be disappointed. Um,
That actually is pretty funny. The thing Chris just posted in the Get Wrecked General.
let me check it.
Expecting great things from that guy. His name's 750 FICO score.
That's funny. That's a good meme name. I like that.
Do you think that's like a subtle like, hey, looking for a girlfriend on here? Just got the credit score, man. Like,
You know,
hit me up.
my bet would be that they don't have a lot to flex about in life, so they're flexing that FICO score, man.
Why am I getting
Let me look
pinged?
them up.
Oh, okay.
Let me see the op.gg for 750 FICO score. D4, 900 games. I'm impressed someone could play 900 games so far this season and have a 750 FICO. They're nuts. Allowy main.
How many games?
900.
Oh, that's a couple. Okay. I was like,
It's
let's
one or
compare
two.
that. Well, I was like, let's compare that to somebody I know who plays just a ton of games for no reason. Oh, they haven't
Yeah.
played that many. All right, interesting. Shout out to Scramble Spy and his silver 2 48% win rate in 600 games.
That's okay. Fucking Tyler won. Dude, I every time that I think about someone playing just metric shit tons of games, I like to look at Tyler ones because this is fucking jungle account. He's playing on two different accounts, of course, this whole time. But this year, so what, in 8 months, 7 months, he's played 2,100 games on this account. Like, the man's
Yeah.
a fucking machine. He just plays this game
Yeah,
So
sometimes you
much.
just need to play 2100 games of League of Legends.
The man's a monster. This like he's probably I don't know, man. If he played on this account for like a full year or two, he would probably beat me in terms of number of jungle games. Like he just plays so much more than me. He's a monster. Oh, I got added. Who's adding me? Oh, Lane is.
Yeah, I had the same experience.
All right. Well, I don't know what time we're looking to start.
I'm at 2:30. I got the time, so
Nice.
let's kick it off then. Officially welcome everybody to the stream. My name is Meristematic. My co-caster today is Aikedo, the Grandmaster Jungler himself.
Don't tell anyone, but yeah.
We've got action from Week 5, Matchday 2 of the Prophecy Cup between Return of the Middlesticks and Lost in Chalupa. This is a pretty important game for playoff seeding, for standings, as... I'm already coughing, that's not good.
Oh no, do you have the Rona?
Maybe.
Please no. Okay.
Return of the Middlesticks comes in at 5-2. Lost in Chalupa at 4-3. So win propels you toward that first round bye, that very coveted top 2 spot, and a loss, keeps you in the muck, kind of, still looking at just a playoff spot. So that being said,
as somebody who's relatively unfamiliar with the standings right now in P Cup, at 5-2, are they a contender for that second spot? Is there like a clear first place team that's like undefeated, or what's it look like?
So right now Vortex is undefeated, and then Sad Boys is the team with 1 loss right now. So if Sad Boys were to drop another game kind of unexpectedly, ROTM would have the tiebreaker head-to-head against them that we casted the other day. Just the other day.
So ostensibly they would play against Vortex at some point and then lose, and then RotM Boys get second, right?
Vortex has already beat both of them, so it's, yeah.
Wait, then how is Sad Boys only at 1 loss?
Oh, I don't know.
Did RotM lose that?
Maybe
Sorry,
I'm making up
I'm
standings.
smooth brain. My memory's pretty...
Let me just...
I'll take your word for it. For the for the narrative, we'll assume playoff implications trying to get second here.
I know that second's still a possibility. Oh shit. Got everyone in Prophecy Cup. Let me get the actual standings correct then, since we're now semi-official.
Oh no.
Why does this take so long to load? Okay. Vortex 8-0, Sad Boys 6-1 right now. So they actually haven't played Vortex yet.
Okay. Well, that would be exciting then. If RotM's able to pull this out, then they would really have a pretty good shot then at second, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, so. Cool. Now that we've... Vortex plays Sad Boy last game of the season.
That's hype.
Ooh, okay. That's some build up for it. Daddy, why 6 stars? Because we've won 6 GRLCS championships, my boy.
Is that right? Are each of the stars colored? Do I need to open up the...
They're white. They're below the... Okay. We have a new Splash logo. You might check it out. Shout out to Peapots for making it, by the way. He's making a lot of different graphics for us, actually. So.
Ooh, that is really cool.
Yeah, let's do some League of Legends, though.
Okay.
I have game 1 loaded up at zeros if you're ready.
Yep, I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so spawning on the blue side of the rift, wearing the blue health bars for game number 1 is going to be Lost in Chalupa. In the top lane, Drop the Chalupa, playing Cho'Gath. Tingar in the jungle, playing Hecarim. Lost in rotation on Galio in mid, and iGlory and Fly in the bottom lane on the Caitlyn and Sona.
Ooh, and on the red side, we have ROTM with Liposuction lane. Is actually in the jungle. I need to swap my stuff around. On the Volibear, Tendies 2, top lane on the Aurelia. And then Cupperdang playing Corki in the mid lane. And then Prodigium and Maximus with the Ziggs Lux bottom lane. My assumption would be that they wanted to go for Lux Sona. But Lost in Chalupa obviously took that away. So next best bet is Lux Ziggs, I suppose.
Yeah, I know that the bot lanes were very contested in this series, especially Caitlyn.
Hmm.
Was a high priority pick because I saw both teams actually chatting about it in their generals. So, um, yeah, a lot of emphasis being put on this bottom lane and trying to get a good matchup. And I feel like RotM feels like they got a good matchup, but I don't know how well Ziggs actually deals with Caitlyn and the constant shoving that Caitlyn can do.
Yeah, especially if you're able to get Ziggs under his turret early, he's got to use a lot of mana to try and last hit, and he doesn't have a whole lot of AD, so last hitting under turret is pretty difficult. If they are able to keep him under, I could see, a CS lead growing for the side of Lost and Chalupa. Is Caitlyn Sona's a very strong lane.
Yeah,
Lots of pressure in the early game, a lot of poke damage coming out, and just one that a lot of lanes would have trouble playing into.
yeah, I feel like the important thing that we need to watch is can Prodigium hit
Oh
his
wow.
lost chapter? That was a good chunk on the fly early though.
That
That
was a
might
lot
help
of
turn that
damage.
around. But look, they're already under the tower trying to last hit these minions.
Yeah, and two mages with no AD trying to last hit underneath turret. Surprisingly able to pick up three of the first wave. I would imagine that's probably going to be um, pretty common if they're able to get that wave all the way under turret, is only picking up, about half the CS.
Yeah, Max
Uh,
actually picked up one as well. So they got 4 out of the first wave. It's
they're
stalling out just
smurfing.
a little bit, but I we're really focused on this bottom lane. Let's talk a little bit about some of these other matchups maybe. Um,
So it's hard to talk about ROTM without mentioning Tendies too. This time top lane on the Aurelia into Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath usually you usually don't want to play melee carries into Cho'Gath because he has so much CC. He has the knockup, he has the silence, it can make life pretty difficult for melee carries. So we'll see already a pretty massive lead from Tendies. There's some poke coming out in bottom lane. I doubt there's gonna be too much that comes from it this early.
yeah, the big issue is that Fly can continually heal up with that Aura of Perseverance. That might be right. Aria of Perseverance, perhaps. Um,
Uh,
the
I think
W.
it's Aura.
Aura?
It might be Arya. I mean, Arya makes
Aria
sense.
is a song, and she's playing songs, not
I
Aura.
agree, but isn't that like a
I'm gonna
solo?
click on it. We're doing it.
I think it's like
It's
a.
Aria. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Let's go. All right. Um,
That said, they don't have Ignite. They opted for the heal barrier, so I'm pretty sure their kill pressure is basically nil down here.
well, their kill
As long
pressure is
as our
basically
team
near, but
doesn't.
there's Hecarim. He's in the tri-bush. They're gonna shove this wave in and potentially look at a dive here at level 3, level 4. Tendies is doing some Tendy stuff up in the top lane that we're gonna watch. But here comes the wave in bottom.
Yeah, we don't have any defensive summoners
Oh,
either.
never
No
mind. We're
heal,
gonna
no
just watch a
barrier.
solo kill in the top lane. Tendies gets that one, but
Oh,
Tingar is here. They'll pick up a 2 in return. Teleports into the top lane. They're trying to catch Tendies, and they will trade that one back. So 3 for 1 for Lost and Chalupa as Cupperdang also burns his teleport to come back up. And now teleport down to the bottom side for Prodigium as Maximus disconnects and reconnects from the game.
every teleport being burnt except for by the top laners. As the solo kill in the top lane for Tendies, that's exactly what you want to see from this Aurelia, but really well done by Tingar on this Hecarim, was able to capitalize on the pressure that his bottom lane was applying down there. They were putting down the poke, and he just brought in enough damage to really finish them off there. Um, and as I was saying, Ziggs and Lux, they don't have any defensive summoners. They opted for the Ignite and the Teleport. So once they are low, once they are getting dove, there isn't a whole lot they can do about it. And just really heads up play from Tingar. That said, Lane is up here.
Yeah, Lane's going to
Ooh.
flash forward for this stun into a couple of dashes from Tendies. Drop the Chalupa taken low. Already doesn't have flash, and the last dash on the Blade Dance from Tendies 2 will pick up another kill in the top lane.
Yeah, and Lane is really focusing here on that top lane, trying to capitalize on Tendies. Was able to create the lead on his own through that solo kill. Now getting a little bit of help. Already a 11 CS lead, 2-1-0 on this Aurelia. It's exactly where you want to be. You want to be picking up that play as a Ruined King, which is sort of the break point at which you would feel more comfortable fighting the Cho'Gath. Um, that said, looking at the RotM team comp, we didn't touch on it earlier, but with this double mage bottom lane and Corki in the mid lane, that's a lot of magic damage. Volibear even also does a lot of magic damage, so MR is very important against them. That said, if Tendi's 2 is able to become a real threat on this Aurelia as the only source of attack damage, forcing the enemy to build armor into this full AP composition will be so good for ROTM. So again, well done to Lane here as he's focusing on that lane and trying to get Tendi's ahead.
Yeah,
Fly's just sort of 1v2 in this bottom lane.
Yeah, more pressure from iGlory and Fly as they gonna extend out to about a 10 CS lead, probably, once everything's all said and done. Lane's hovering around, gonna take the blast cone over the wall. I don't think that he can even catch them. Yeah, the net away, they're just gonna take a little chip damage from the Volibear E.
And not a whole lot to be done here. Even with the double mage, there's not a whole lot of setup. No way of really getting onto Caitlyn's Sona without, Volibear's flash. So
he's still looking for this trade, but Tingar is here. He's level 6 compared to the level 5s, trying to dash out, get some healing. The Chalupa is going to fall, but he does get knocked up by the Rupture. Tingar still trying to fight this one out, but he'll get the Galio ult, the Fear into the knockup, and Tingar will trade that one back.
And Lost in Rotation on the Galio sort of saved that play as I'm pretty sure Tendi's could have just 1v2'd that.
He has to be super careful. The binding onto iGlory is going to keep him safe, but the flash headshot from iGlory picks up the kill on the bottom side. Lane's looking for something, but Maximus is level 4. I don't think that they can win a fight even if they pick one.
This.
More
There's no way for Volibear to ever get on them.
Max is super low now. Oh, the binding just outside of tower range. Fly's going to be able to survive there.
And this Caitlyn Sona bottom lane is really flexing their power in this early game. Already a pretty significant CS lead, and this time even without jungle help. In fact, jungle help was coming in for RotM, and they're still able to get the kill, crash this wave, and Prodigium is so far behind the Caitlyn. Just a massive lead for them.
Yeah, he did. I don't want to say successfully hit. We were looking at that last chapter as being kind of the break point for when he can start throwing some wave clear back, but 2 kills behind. This actually is a relatively even item fight if they stick around, but it's level 6s compared to level 5s. Fly flashes forward, hits the double crescendo, and they'll try to chase down Prodigium. Do they have any CC left? Couple more autos, and it's enough! The ace in the hole for the double kill for iGlory in the bottom lane.
I did not think they had enough damage to do it, but they knew their damage better than I did, and they're able to pick up the double kill. Really well done. They're using the alcove to their advantage, and that's just further increasing this lead here in the bottom lane. Caitlyn's going to recall here, sitting on 2,000 gold. Maybe she isn't going to recall. Maybe she just wants to get the Infinity Edge in one go. But it's just going to be massive here in this bottom lane.
Yeah, might as well just drop that Infinity Edge on the table. Just, what are you guys going to do about this? Nothing? All right, cool.
The other thing worth noting is that mages oftentimes are put in the mid lane because they require levels to really hit their wave clear, especially Ziggs needs multiple points in the Q and preferably a point or two in his E before he's really one-shotting these waves. With how much they've been dying, Prodigium is still level 5. We're at almost 10 minutes into the game, really missing out on a lot of the base stats and the base damage on his abilities that would be helping them out in this wave clear.
Yeah, we've been hyper-focused on that bottom lane. Tingar will go ahead and pick up the first dragon of the game. It'll be traded back for the Rift Herald, which is a nice little grab for Lane and Dang.
Lane and Dang?
Lane and Dang.
We'll see if they're able to get that down before the plates drop, but Tingar is here in the bottom lane.
He's got Onslaught of Shadows available. They're going to go for another alcove play.
He made it into the alcove without being seen. Oh, no.
And here he comes. Onslaught of Shadows in. It's only going to catch Maximus. They'll just take the one for, basically free. Why not? iGlory's 4-0 now. It's almost not worth picking on this lane anymore. It's going to be kind of diminishing returns.
They can re-dive this. Prodigium cannot sit underneath this turret. He might be able to clear with his ult, but if they find him under this turret, he is dead. We'll see. Tingar's behind him. He went all the way around. Oh no. Prodigium. Oh
Yeah,
no.
Lane and Maximus not quite there. He's trying to get to the other side of his satchel. He'll hit it away. The ace in the hole's going to chunk through, and the flash forward from Tingar finishes him off. Lane just a little too slow. Now lost in rotation, a little bit lost in rotation here between four members, but he's going to find Cupper Dang and just chunk through him. Rupture going to land and try to stave off Tendies in the top lane, but it is a solo kill for Tendies. You still have that top lane to flex on for ROTM, but they're going to lose their bottom tower at 11 minutes.
You talk about having that top lane, that's sort of their only saving grace right now. Everywhere else on the map, even when we saw the 1v1 of the mid laners in the bot side jungle there, lost in rotation, was caught out, but he was able to pretty much one-shot Cupper Dang and make him forced to use the package away. There really aren't any leads for RotM right now, except for that Shine are in the top lane, so... You know, that's sort of their win condition right now.
Oh, Maximus is just going to walk into a Galio here in the bush. That's a one-shot.
Yeah, it's a very dead Lux. A very dead Lux. He had wards up. He just didn't think anyone could be in that pixel brush and, you know, pays with his life for it.
Yeah, a little bit of chip damage there from Cupper Dang, but lost in rotation can go ahead and get that recall and teleport back in if he needs to, or ult in, whatever he'd prefer. There's a lot of options available right now to Lost in Chalupa, and they're taking one of them up here in the top lane by putting iGlory and Fly up here to match Tendies.
And that's sort of what you want to do with this Caitlyn. Caitlyn, you know, is known for sort of having a power trough in the mid game. You know, once you get out of laning phase before she hits 3 items.
You have to be a little careful if you drop the Chalupa though, and
yeah.
Prodigium Mega Inferno Bomb just enough to actually chunk through him. He almost got to that blast plant, but it's a kill on the board for Prodigium. Maybe a little bit of a window back into the game, but look at the gold that iGlory and Fly are just going to get from the tower up in the top lane. Already 2 more plates. He's 2,300 gold ahead of Ziggs.
And the worry is that, you know, ROTM is able to get that kill onto Prodigium, but the kills onto the 0-4, now 0-5 Cho'Gath, that's not worth any money. Like, that doesn't really get you anything, and they aren't even going to be able to pressure this turret. Oh,
they should be able to get it into
the Ziggs W.
Yeah, they should be able to get that into Satchel Charge range and at least trade that back. Tendies is going in. He can chunk through, but a really good crescendo and another kill for iGlory. Now Lost in rotation, rotates toward bottom. A flash away from Liposuction Lane will save his life. But it's going to be more pressure on the top side, and that'll be another tower for Lost in Chalupa as Tingar tries to find Cupper Dang. Just going to Valkyrie away.
And unfortunately for ROTM, that Shining Star, their win condition in the Aurelia, Tendies 2 goes a little bit too aggressive to clear that wave, and against the 1v2 of this extremely strong Caitlyn Sona, they were able to find the kill onto Aurelia, and that just is not a good sign here for ROTM. Now down 4k gold. Lost in Chalupa is able to pick up that turret in the top lane as
Lost in rotation just does not take damage. He's going to just fly back in onto Maximus for his trouble.
Who knew that Galio into nearly full AP composition is a pretty tanky boy, even if he's not building directly tank. He gets quite a bit from his magic resist, and
yeah, they're going to have to abandon this dragon.
Yeah, no, Maximus is very
hit up. That was a really good rupture. Over the wall, another Justice Punch isn't going to quite be able to track down Maximus, but they're going to force him back out of the jungle. And drop the Chalupa should just eat this dragon, I would assume. Oh, he doesn't quite have it. They're going to wait for it. That's the good team play. Give the Cho'Gath the stack.
Yeah, but that's the second one. Cloud Drake, or Cloud Soul rather, Cloud Map is going to be the flavor we're looking at this game, which for champions like the Hecarim, you know, you definitely like to see the Cloud Soul if you're able to get to it. But all things considered, when they have this much pressure, they have this much dragon control this early in the game, you'd probably suspect they were hoping for a little bit better of a dragon there.
Yeah, Lane's going to get caught by Tingar on his Raptors, trying to turn this back around, but just takes a huge chunk of damage. Fly's actually pumping out quite a bit of damage on that Sona, already sitting on the Athene's Unholy Grail.
And even with trying to put back
Tingar's
some
going to
damage...
redive.
Oh, no.
Prodigium and Maximus. Maximus gets knocked into the wall. Teleport's coming off. Onslaught of Shadows just kind of separates the rest of ROTM as Drop the Chalupa comes in. Tingar's chunked pretty low. Tendies is here, but he can't really join the fray. and Fly is going to be able to escort his team out to safety. So little overextension there from Tingar, but doesn't cost anything, essentially. Just the ult.
Doesn't have to pay the price for it, is able to just walk away, and Lost in Chalupa is still setting up for this turret. It's extremely low.
Tendies goes forward, he finds Eye Glory, gets the second reset, but then gets stunned by the Sona ult. No, just be able to kite that one out as Fly takes him down. But here comes the Galio to re-engage. Already's taken one. Prodigium flashes forward with the double taunt from Lost in Rotation as he'll clean that one up. A triple kill for Lost in Rotation. And now Lane forced to flee as Eye Glory and Lost in Rotation live.
Really well played there by Lost in Rotation. Is able to get the Galio taunt onto multiple members and clean them up. So much damage coming out from him. And, you know, even with Tendies 2 diving hard onto Caitlyn in the back, the Galio ult came in and suddenly you're CC'd forever as a melee carry and you just aren't able to do anything. And Cho'Gath wasn't even there. That fight only gets worse as this game goes on because there's even more CC for the Aurelia to try and deal with. And it's going to be extremely difficult for ROTM. You know, them losing these fights, just it's not looking better for them now. As we see Caitlyn isn't even scared of the big bear staring her down, just sort of clears the ward right out in front of him.
Yeah, I'm really curious when she goes back. Should have more than enough for that Storm Razor. Yeah, not quite enough for the completion, actually.
Is the build now Storm Razor? I think it's Essence Reaver, right? I think it's IE into Essence Reaver for just, like, lots of AD.
I know that it's 2 AD items. You don't want to go Zeal items early because they just don't benefit you as much because you scale hard but your base is really low or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I've heard discourse about it. I don't know exactly. It's going to be the Storm Razor this game for Eye Glory.
Oh, okay. You were correct.
Man, I'm 2 for 2 this game. That's pretty good. Normally I don't have that that success rate on our...
No, you're on it today. And, oh no, the Caitlyn already picking up some magic resist as well. You know, we'll see if that's a Hex Drinker or a Death Stance or, you know, QSS. Probably one of those. But that said, again, against this extremely magic damage focused composition, one of the saving graces for Ziggs is that eventually you hit a point in the game where you can burst out squishies from farther away than they can put any damage back onto you. You know, a Ziggs able to land a QR onto the backline can just push them out of the fight. But with Caitlyn already picking up this early magic resist, it's going to be even harder for Prodigium to have that sort of an impact on this, you know, on these team fights.
Yeah, do you think he just grabs a QSS, or do you think it's a Hex Drinker, like even more MR?
There isn't a whole lot to QSS, other than, I guess, Aurelia Stun or Lux Binding. Yeah, Galio got caught out, but that man has so much MR, there's no way he's ever dying. I mean, QSS isn't terrible.
Prodigium gonna take the ace in the hole, and Tingar's just gonna chase him down like the rat that he is. God, there's the slow from Storm Razor, just paying a little bit of benefit for My Glory, but yeah, they get the pick onto Prodigium and send him back to the Death Chamber.
Yeah, it's his 6th death this game, sort of been picked on a little bit. And Lost in Chalupa has just been doing a great job of not only getting this lead, but continuing to apply it. They've been pushing down these objectives, forcing these fights, and getting picks constantly. Really well played by them, as the only person who's really died is their top laner. And even Cho'Gath is able to exist in the side lane without getting killed constantly by Tendies, right? And that's sometimes what you need. Looking at the CS differential, of course, down 80 CS, that's not what you want to see. But considering the state of the rest of the map, you can't be too upset with that.
Yeah.
It's Lost in Chalupa picking up the 3rd dragon, now on Soul Point.
Yeah, I was going to say it's well done by RTM to at least grab that top tower. They're grabbing a little bit of gold in their pocket, but it gets equalized by another tower in bottom lane for Lost in Chalupa, plus the dragon. And just how much more can you hemorrhage if you're RTM?
Yeah, this is all before 20 minutes.
Tendies is going to find Lost in Chalupa. He's got a 2-level advantage, getting some autos. Not able to dodge out of that Rupture, but just dashes through the minions. Flash forced. He's trying to get away. I don't think that he can. Maybe another Rupture? Man. All right. A lot of respect there from Tendies, but not going to go ahead and dive that one. Galio is on the way, but it is going to open up a little mid push.
A little bit of pressure there as Tingar says, no, you're not allowed to hit my turret. Pushes them off just a little
Yeah,
bit.
Dang gonna use the package to get in, but instead it's the re-engage for Lost in Chalupa. They immediately take down Prodigium. The speed up, the fast horse, he goes in, he'll take down Cupper Dang as well. Man,
And
this
Baron's
is...
up. They could look for Baron or just look for the inhibitor here.
They are so fast to rotate, though, with the Hecarim speed, with the Sona speed. Even, like, the Galio semi-global, just... You cannot hide on the map if you're ROTM. And they're going to pay for it with their inhibitor.
And there's a turret, or there's a wave here in the bottom lane. Looks like they're probably just going to rotate down and pick up that as well. If they get this inhibitor, bottom inhibitor is always extremely good for Baron pressure because it forces someone to be clearing on the opposite side of the map. They're able to secure it here at 21 minutes. And that's just increasing already a massive lead. And this sort of sets them up to just walk towards Baron. ROTM right now, if they know they're recalling, should probably just try and rush Baron. Because otherwise, you're going to... Lost in Chalupa is going to do a good job of applying pressure here, waiting for the waves to push in, and then just get Baron for free anyway.
Yeah,
See,
they're...
RTM pushing up that way, they might be able to get a pick here, or they're starting it. It's a little late, but we'll see. They don't have a ton of damage without, you know, they don't have a Bork ADC, they don't have a ton of attack speed.
Yeah, they're already caught. Fly is here, just gonna throw in. They do catch him, but now the Galio ult gonna try to turn that one around. Lane goes to the bounce house. Good ult from Tendies, but he'll get immediately taunted and taken down. Another really good collapse from Lost in Chalupa. Prodigium's just hiding in that bush. He's actually gonna get back to base. It's the surrender.
Ooh. And yeah, the surrender makes a lot of sense because right there, Lost in Chalupa was just going to run it straight down mid with those supers and end the game. And just an extremely clean game from them outside of that top lane differential. Even with that, they were able to sort of stop the bleeding and, you know, continue to apply pressure everywhere else around the map. You know, getting those dives bottom lane, just applying so much pressure. And extremely clean game for them.
Yeah, and it was just super crisp team fighting. Even when you saw members get caught out, they'd have that ability. They'd turn immediately and all fly in at the same time, thanks to the team comp that they'd put together. So, game number 2 coming up. What do you think RTM needs to do in order to
Not
fix
pick
that?
a full AP comp into Galio. I wonder when Corki was picked. Because if that Corki could have been just the Tristana, and you just sit that mid against the Galio, I think that that could have been. God, this Galio is literally just unkillable. Other than that, yeah, a stronger bottom lane, probably banning Sona or banning Caitlyn, just so that, or picking it yourself, as it was extremely difficult for them to play into that. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll go ahead and take a short break then. We'll be right back with game number 2. Lost in Chalupa leads 1-0, which I have to write out now. Chalupa. But yeah, we'll be right back with game number 2.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that whole game, but Hecarim took Flash instead of Ghost or Ignite, which is interesting.
I mean, he made it work. Like,
He
there was
definitely
that
did,
play in the bottom lane where he flashed forward in order to secure 2 kills. I actually don't
but
mind flash on Hecarim, but
Hecarim is sort of like the one jungler that doesn't take Flash. He takes everything but Flash, you know, especially with Ghost buffs or even Ignite against, um, you know, against the Volibear could really, you know, help him apply a lot of pressure. Obviously, he didn't need it though. I just thought that was interesting that they decided to go that way.
I just look into the P-Cup chat for
Yeah.
RTM, and Tendies just says, I'm trying to get a chipmunk out of my room. I'll be on in a bit, though. So, shout out to Tendies Chipmunk.
How does a chipmunk get into your room?
You know, just wanted to say hi.
I suppose so.
Oh, I need to flip these guys. Maybe Tendies is like Cinderella, just attracts all the woodland creatures.
Could be. Could be. Does the chipmunk look more like a chip or a dale?
Ooh, another important question.
What was the name of the chipmunks? Alvin, Theodore. What was the third one? Alvin and the chipmunks. Alvin, Theodore.
Second time you've had a chipmunk in your room? That's
Impressive, to say the least.
Simon.
Oh, Simon. Simon was the blue one with the glasses, right? No, Simon was the small one, the young one, right?
I did not like that show.
I don't fucking know.
Are you sure?
My dad didn't want us watching any of that because he thought that the chipmunks were obnoxious. I mean he's not incorrect.
Yeah.
But
they're chipmunks specifically, not squirrels, not.
What's the difference between a chipmunk and a squirrel? Is that offensive?
Man, this isn't. Theo was the green.
Was the thick one.
Oh, Jesus. All right, let's do a League of Legends if you're ready. That's enough of that.
I'm at 0-0.
All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2 between Lost in Chalupa and Return of the Middle Sticks. Lost in Chalupa can close it out with a win in this game, and RTM now fighting for their lives, essentially, here in game number 2. So let's get started then in 3, 2, 1, go. So on the blue side of the rift, wearing the blue health bars for game number 2 will be Tendies. Will be Return of the Middle Sticks. It'll just be Tendies and the boys. Tendies 2 in the top lane playing Irelia again. Liposuction lane in the jungle on Nunu. Cupperdang on Malzahar in mid, and Prodigium and Maximus take away the Caitlyn, and they pair it with Morgana.
And red side, Lost in Chalupa. Looks like they're looking for an invade here. We have dropped the Chalupa's Maokai in the top lane, Tingar on the Lisa in jungle, Lost in rotation playing Zoe in the mid lane, and then Jin Karma for iGlory and Fly.
Flash not able to find the snare though from Drop the Chalupa, but they'll get the counter flash at least.
Yeah, wasn't quite able to get it off, but burning the Morgana flash early is not a bad thing. But Lost in Chalupa is looking for some more. Probably just gonna try and get some vision down here. They actually didn't place a single ward.
Yeah, this is just.
They did all that work and just for nothing.
The pacifist invade.
So, interestingly enough, the two lanes that sort of got bullied last game was ROTM's bot lane and the Chalupa's top lane, right? And those are the two that just burnt Flash. So now Drop the Chalupa, already in a matchup that he had a lot of trouble with last game, no longer has Flash. We'll see if Tendies is able to take advantage of that. Whereas in this bottom lane, now playing the Caitlyn Morgana, which generally is a stronger lane, I would imagine, than Ziggs Lux. Already starting out as Summoner disadvantage. We'll see if Tingar is able to capitalize on that.
Yeah, and they don't even leash. Lane's just going to start solo on the blue buff, and Prodigium and Maximus go ahead and leash those minions in. So they're going to get an early shove and just try to really exert their will on iGlory and Fly. Fourth shot from iGlory, gonna have to use it on the minion. So Prodigium already off to a much better start than last game.
Definitely, and this is taking the Caitlyn on their own, perhaps deciding that was the strong point there in the bottom lane. I like this look from them. They're sort of identifying that, getting a more impactful bottom lane is
level 2 hit. Maximus not able to get that Black Dark Binding as he throws it into the minions. Now iGlory and Fly able to match the flash forward, the snare, and the kill. It's first blood for iGlory with that fourth shot.
Maximus, they did have the level 2. He walked so far forward to try and get that binding and apply pressure, but once you miss that, your Morgana is no longer a champion for 12 seconds, and Chalupa does well to really take advantage of that. They hit their own level 2, burn their summoners to go forward, and already a first blood here. You know, it's sort of reminiscent of last game, already applying so much pressure.
Yeah, there's a
That's
little of irony to be had in the fourth shot, against fourth shot himself. But
the artist formerly known as Four Shot. Yeah. Looking at it though, one thing that we were looking at last game was Tendies on the Aurelia sort of had a lot of champions that do extremely well into Aurelia, like the Galio, like the Cho'Gath. This time around, significantly less of that. Maokai still has the point and click snare, has a little bit of lockdown, but outside of that, it's definitely less.
Oh, the collapse.
Difficult.
Here comes Nunu, hits the snowball. He's really low. Oh, never mind. Gets the feast and the smite. But iGlory trying to fight this one through, steps on a trap. Q into the auto from Prodigium. We'll trade that one back. Now lost in rotation. Forces the flash over the wall. He could pick up the... Actually, the flash dropped on the other side of the wall. That's kind of weird. But the red buff from Lost in Rotation actually picks up the kill. Now Cupperdang on the wrong side of this. Flash forward, another Resonating Strike hits, and Maximus will fall to Tingar as Lost in Chalupa picks up a couple of kills here in the bottom lane.
2 for 1 at the end of the day there, and even that one that they gave back was iGlory just sort of getting lost there and walking directly onto the Caitlyn trap, and well done there by Prodigium, able to get the damage out to pick up that kill.
Tendies
In the meantime,
feeling it though.
This top lane is already over. There's a massive wave pushing into Tendies. He could perma-freeze this forever. Maokai already down 12 CS. He has a massive wave that's going to just clear out all of the CS. This lane's actually just over for Chalupa. It's impossible now. Like he needs his jungler to break that freeze, but even then, it's gonna be a mess.
But then you're going into Tendies in a 1v2, and I think he just levels up automatically during that. I'm not really sure.
If he clears any of this wave, then he's gonna at least hit level 5. God, it's actually over. Tendies is doing a good job of saving this wave. We'll see if he continues the freeze. Sorry, I'm looking up there. He actually didn't do a good job of trimming down the wave. He's going to take a lot of damage to keep this. No, it looks like Chalupa just did not want to contest it at all and is giving him the freeze. Yikes. Sorry, I have my camera panned up there. I'm not sure what the directed camera's looking at.
We're watching bottom lane exclusively. This is a bottom lane. No. It's weird because normally directed camera just hates bottom lane and we never see it. And this series, it's been entirely bottom lane. Lane's coming in though. Greatest snowball ever. Gonna hit iGlory, get the knock up into the snare, and he'll eventually fall to an auto from Prodigium. So nice gank from Liposuction lane coming out of the river.
And Caitlyn Morgana has so much lockdown and so much damage if they're able to get even this one thing to hit. So lane able to get the snowball just sort of sets up all that damage. As Tendies, even completely sitting on 1,200 gold, is still able to just completely win that fight. That said, freeze is broken here. So Chalupa is going to get farm pushed back into him at some point, but...
Oh, connection from Tingar on the Resonating Strike. It'll be the ult. The Space Aid's being applied to him, but the bubble lands onto Liposuction lane, trying to kite away with some of these snowballs. Drop to the Chalupa is teleported in. Dang gonna get snared up by Karma. A couple more autos. Paddlestar just sails wide. The W from Jin trying to turn this Ignite from Fly. One more auto isn't gonna be enough as Dang's still alive. They throw a sapling at him, but it'll finally be the Flash Paddlestar from Lost in Rotation to pick up the kill.
And they have to get something here. Drop the Chalupa. Had 2 waves pushing into him in that top lane. He teleports bottom to help out the team anyway. Honestly, does literally nothing. Doesn't even get an assist. And his lane's even more over now. Because he just missed so much CS up there. It crashed into his turret, so it's pushing back out towards Tendies. Tendies is going to be able to freeze this again.
He went for the steal.
As we see lane end.
Yeah. Nice. Not quite the right timing for that steal. Didn't really need to go for it, but I feel it.
He's doing his best. But yeah, no. Lost in Chalupa, they got the kill, got the dragon. and they really need to capitalize on this. That kill going on to Zoe's, it's the onus is now on Zoe to carry this game because Maokai literally just is not a champion now.
The onus is on Zoe to carry the game, and Tingar takes his blue buff. Who
Oh
does
my
that?
god.
Who,
You know,
who
Tingar
would
really
do
needs
that?
that XP. Especially, looking at it, Tingar's already up in XP against lane on the Nunu. Nunu historically sort of is supposed to invade a lot and make the enemy jungler unable to clear his camps, but Tingar's been doing a good job of getting it. Oh my god, he's
Tendy's
so
looking
dead.
for it. Vanguard's edge, dashes forward.
It's
Not
not
able to
even
hit the
close.
W, but doesn't need it. Dashes out, dashes back in. Doesn't even matter. The solo kill for Tendy's. Glory hits level 6 and just fires a couple of shots into Maximus. Dark Binding just sails a little bit wide. Luckily, he was the fast at that moment. But Tingar is behind. He's going to use the power of the blue buff to maybe look for a gank here on Prodigium and Maximus.
They have to get something because Tendy's crashing another wave. Top is so over.
Dark Binding
Chalupa
is
has
down
to
now
get something.
as he's looking for it. Tingar jumps in. Maximus is down. The kick forward. That's pretty clean from Tingar, but the flash from Prodigium is still there. Otto's coming in, and now Nunu will collapse the ace in the hole into the greatest snowball ever. Tendy's dives in, clears the minion wave for his trouble. Hits the stun onto Zoe. Lost in rotation taken pretty low. He'll get snared by the Jhin. And it'll be the disengage. So it's a 1-for-1. It was Maximus for Tingar.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe more.
No.
Flies
Prodigium.
gonna find him. He walks over the trap as well. Gets held in place, and another kill for Lost in rotation. Tendy's trying to dive forward. He's trying to trade. Otto's coming through, but it's the double kill for Lost in rotation.
Tendy's teleported in late, got nothing for his trouble, and then gets baited into trying to help out his teammate and dies for it. There was just no reason for that. They have an insane lead in the top lane. Why try and force things elsewhere? Just let it go. Because that 1-for-1, it goes in favor of ROTM because of the way that this top lane is shaping out. That's okay. It's not too big of a deal. They still have this massive lead in the top lane, and this bot lane, it's not bleeding out anymore, right? This isn't last game. It's not completely getting destroyed down there. That said, the big lead right now is on that Zoe, 4-0-1, has the finished Ludens, and it is going to be doing tons of damage. You saw it earlier in the trade against Cupperdang in the mid lane. Zoe was able to almost take Malzahar's entire HP bar.
And
oh wow.
Glory just steps a little bit too far forward and pays for it. Maximus with this Seeing Eye Dark Binding there right next to the minions.
80 carries taking turns walking up too far on their own. Just sort of the ping pong here in the bottom lane. As our team does a good job to take advantage
Lost in
of
rotation
it,
though.
There's a lot of people down here.
Yeah, he's hanging around. It's going to be a 2v2 with Lee Sin a
Oh
little
my
bit late.
God.
The bubble just doesn't quite land, but it was a big chunk on a Prodigium. Another Puddle Star just sails wide as Maximus clenching just a little bit. His dress may be aflame, but he'll get out of there safely.
So close there. Lost in rotation, almost picked up the cheeky kill there, but
gonna find it. He hits the resonating strike.
Yeah, able to pick it up there, and it should mean a lot of damage going down onto this turret. But meanwhile, Liposuction lane was able to get that Herald, and they might be looking for Glory here in the mid lane. No. Snowball sails
just
wide
to the wave.
But they could pick up this wave, they could pick up top wave with this Herald anytime they want. Looks like they're going for mid, which that extra influx of gold on a Cupperdang is going to put him back into this game, as he was sort of behind here on the Zoe.
Yeah, dash forward on to drop the Chalupa, another knock up into the absolute zero, and drop the Chalupa has about that much health right now.
And really well done there by Liposuction lane. Gets the gank off mid, is able to drop the Herald to get that turret, and while that's happening, goes back top and gets a kill for his top laner. And we'll see if Tendy's decides to pick up this turret or not.
Good dodge out there from Lost in rotation. Resonating strike lands. He'll just eliminate Prodigium underneath the tower, and Maximus ticking down to ignite will finally fall. It's another double kill for Lost in rotation as Fly stays just alive. after they kill the turret in the bottom lane. So more pressure for the Zoe. 6-0 now. Has the free stopwatch. That's pretty troll.
Yeah, a little bit, but that's exactly what they need to be doing because everywhere else on the map right now is just not going their way. So continually diving and getting this lead in this bottom lane is sort of what they need to be doing. Zoe now 6-0-1, just is absolutely massive. Is well on her way to the double pen. She's going to be putting out so much damage if she lands her abilities. But
Greatest snowball ever.
no.
They're just going to re-dive the Maokai. He's got nowhere to go. Tendies will eventually pick this one up, I'm sure. And...
he's going to go down.
Oh, the W's just enough to keep him alive from the tower. That would have been a huge trade back, but instead it does go the way of RotM. They'll grab their second tower of the game as well.
And Drop the Chalupa is just getting absolutely bullied this game. 35 CS. Hasn't been able to get the Bramble Vest. Has just absolutely nothing going for him. It's just a miserable game for him. I don't know if you can see all chat, but he's not having fun.
Yeah, Prodigium gets slept. He'll get taken down eventually by Tingar. No.
Ward jump? Ward jump? No wards in the inventory, and because Tingar steps on the trap there, Prodigium's able to walk away with a sliver of health, but already we're seeing so much damage coming out of the Zoe there. Just going to be an absolute menace here.
Yeah, iGlory may be in a little bit of trouble. That's a sick dodge, though. Just a nice sidestep as Liposuction Lane forced to flee. They'll go ahead and open up with the Curtain Call, lost in rotation, trying to escape. Tendi's gonna just bro mode, go ahead and tank that one. Oh, the Blade of the Ruin King! Lost in rotation's gonna get out of there.
And that's massive. Denying the shutdown, that would have been 900 gold going into the pocket of Tendi's 2. Being able to deny that's massive.
Yeah,
but
Tingar finds lane, kicks him back. The W not quite enough. Tingar, I'll take that kill though.
And well done there by Tingar, able to kick him back during the absolute zero. And they might be able to pressure up this mid lane. Zoe's here, and in these siege scenarios, she's just able to apply so much pressure if she's able to land the skill shots. So they should be able to pressure RotM off the turret.
Yeah, already an extra flash available, but they're going to go ahead and use the Malzahar ult. The trap doesn't quite set in time to grab last in rotation. Bubble doesn't quite connect either. It's just the trade back as Tendi's throws in the Vanguard's edge. He has a couple of dashes available, but I don't think he really wants to dive in 1v4. I think he wants to, but I don't think he can.
It's so close. Honestly, if he has Mercs, I think he can go in there. Oh no, he's
still looking for it. He dashes forward. But iGlory and Fly going to go ahead and grab the... Well, at least Fly wants to grab that recall. He's going to throw Mantra Q at the wave. They're sticking around. It's not really a siege. I don't know what's happening, really.
Well, you know, it looked like Lost and Chalupa wanted to pressure that mid lane turret, but Tendi's came up and just sort of neutralized that, I suppose. The gold lead, funnily enough, you look at the score, it's 12-7. You have this 6-0-1 Zoe, this 3-1-5 Lee Sin. But the gold lead is dead even, and almost all of that is off the back of Tendi's 2, who, you know, 16 minutes into the game has almost flame horizon the poor Maokai, who just has not been allowed to play the game.
The other really funny thing is the vision in this game right now. It's all in each other's jungle, but they have none in their own. Nunu's going to try to collapse here onto Lost in Rotation. Has the cleanse already burned it? Tries to dodge away, but the Black Dark Binding is going to find him. I don't think any of these people actually want the shutdown. That's kind of the issue. Maximus goes forward. Cupper Dang will finally take him down with the Space Aids. A lot of damage done by the Curtain Call, but it's just not going to chunk through anybody. Tendi's able to walk in, and it's going to force them back as Tingar drop the Chalupa both on the opposite side of the map.
And that's so much money, 900 gold going into the pocket of Cupper Dang, who was behind in this matchup, but now no longer. Just, you know, the worry is that when you have the shutdown like that, but the gold is dead even, you just can't give the shutdown away. And Liposuction Lane, as well as Maximus, did a good job of being in the right place to lock down Lost in Rotation for just long enough.
This is kind of funny. Tingar, Maximus, Prodigium, all just chilling 6 feet away, socially distanced, but it's not going to matter as Tingar breaks the social distancing protocol, able to take him down. The collapse, though, from Cupper Dang. Maximus tries to keep him from flying over the wall, steps in, and the chomp down. But now Tendies is here. He jumps onto Fly, gets the Vanguard's Edge onto 2. He'll dive forward. Fly will go down. So will I Glory. Double kill for Tendies, too.
Well done there for ROTM. It looked bad at the start as Tingar was able to find the catch onto Prodigium, but the rest of the members of ROTM collapse and able to pick up the kills there. That means the Dragon going their way, Ocean Drake denying that soul point for Lost in Chalupa is very good. Oh no, just Zoe's here.
Zoe's here.
Oh!
Gets the sleep. Not able
He's
to get
going
the
for the
dragon,
steal
though.
instead of the kill.
Yeah, he had the free kill
He's
and just
gonna
tries to
die.
opt in. He's actually down a level now, which is kind of weird, but Lane cleans him up. That was a little greedy there
What?
from Lost in Rotation.
You're Zoe against Nunu. You aren't gonna beat Nunu on the dragon. Just take your free kill and walk away, and gets greedy and dies for it. You know, the 6-0-1 is, you know, we're gonna see Tendies 2 pick up a kill here, of course. But the 6-0-1 Zoe had to be the carry for the team, has gotten caught twice in a row and dies.
That's a good flash.
That is a good flash. That's the Dyrus flash. Fitting enough has sort of been Dyrus this game.
Yeah, just trying to play League of Legends, man.
That said, 18 minutes and 50 seconds. That's the Flame Horizon here as Tendies is so far ahead. Has the finished Blade ranking, has the finished Cleaver. Also has Merc Treads and is on his way to the Death Dance.
Oh
no,
net not quite the
Prodigium
right
is so
direction,
dead.
though. He's gonna get taken down by Tingar. Good kick there. And the pressure still continuing. This trio of Tingar, iGlory, and Fly have just been playing together super well throughout the first 2 games of this series.
Absolutely. Anywhere that they go, they're able to make the plays, get the picks.
Teleport
feels
coming
like
in, drop
it's-
the Chalupas on the flank. They're going to go engage onto Lee Sin. They'll take him down to start off with. Tendies picks up that one. He'll dash forward, Vanguard's Edge onto iGlory. He'll dash forward and pick up the second. They're trying to run away from the Maokai on the bottom side of this fight. He's taken down Maximus. He's trying to find Cupperdang. The kiting is just good enough from the Malzahar, though. Bubble lands. Lost in Rotation looking for it, but I think he got the distance on that. Tendies jumps forward, not able to find the stun onto Fly. As Liposuction Lane staying alive. The Mantra Q, quite a bit of damage, but Lost in Rotation doesn't have anything to try to collapse. That's 1 for 3 in favor of ROTM.
And Tendies is just an absolute monster, diving into the backline and just solo killing everybody. And even when they're getting him low, he has so much lifesteal now with the Conqueror, with the Blade of the Ruined King, with the extra Vamp Scepter in the inventory. There needs to be grievous wounds against this champion right now. Otherwise, I don't think Lost in Chalupa is ever going to be able to kill him.
Yeah, you can see the Bramble Vest is finally finished for Drop the Chalupa. He's almost his Sunfire Cape.
That's
finally.
not going to be enough, because in these team fights, Tendies, he's not going to be fighting Drop the Chalupa. He's been killing him enough already this game. He's thirsty for that backline. He's just going to be diving constantly. Someone who's putting out damage needs to pick up that Grievous.
Yeah, and it looks like
Otherwise,
Lost in
the man's
Rotation's
never going to die.
gonna pass over it, actually. He's got the Oblivion Orb, the most powerful item in the game, but he's not gonna upgrade it immediately into the Morellos as he grabs the needlessly large rod afterwards.
Which I don't hate. I think going for the death cap makes sense, but it does mean that somebody needs to pick up Grievous. You know, and Jin probably doesn't want to be that person, but Jin sort of is that person right now.
I wouldn't hate it on Tingar either, to be fair, but
It depends on Tingar. If he picks it up, it means that he needs to be playing Peel in fights, you know, instead of going for sick insects or, you know, pressure onto the backline. He needs to be looking to, you know, kick Tendies away from his backline. And if he is able to do that, then I'm fine with it on him. But, you know, if he does pick it up, he has to change his playstyle. As Tendies, surprisingly, wasn't able to get the kill there. You know, was able to force out the ultimate from Maokai, but the Bramble Vest, the Grievous Wounds, means that he isn't confident enough to dive that turret and lifesteal enough to get back out, so...
yeah, the Aftershock's
Goes for the safe option.
Yeah, the Aftershock's a pretty good rune, as it turns out, but...
Yeah, who knew? Weird that he went Aftershock instead of Grasp, right?
I mean, if you're gonna get... if you know that
And if you're gonna get
such
shit
a
on,
bad
then
matchup,
Aftershock. Yeah. But is that a bad... I suppose it's not a good matchup. I feel like there's a way to play the matchup without getting shit on. I feel like there's
You
Can't you
lose.
go like sustain and just like be down 20 CS but be fine?
Yeah, basically you lose early, but you're fine because you're Maokai. It's kind of like every Maokai matchup.
The issue is, I feel like he needed to just AFK in lane until he gets Tabi and Bramble Vest, but unfortunately just was not at all able to do that.
Wow, Shelly
As
actually
Tendi's,
goes in.
oh
He
my
throws the
god.
Vanguard's Edge in, gets a couple of stuns down, but gets kicked right back out by Tingar. They're going to go ahead and grab the kill that they can grab as they take down the Maokai. Firing range opened up, but Maximus going to bro block that one. But Prodigium just stays a little too long to drop the trap, and he'll get taken down by Tingar. Now maybe a re-engage for Lost in Chalupa as they're just going to hover around this redemption. Liposuction Lane is trying to solo the dragon right now. Black Shield going to make sure that Tendies doesn't fall asleep at the wheel. Dark Binding not able to connect. They're still maybe looking for this turn. Tendies dashes forward. He's taken so low, but they can't quite finish him off. Eye Glory with the fourth shot into Maximus,
no.
but now Liposuction Lane drops the absolute zero, just immediately breaks it after getting the shield. Lost in rotation, still looking for somebody. This is such a mess, but nobody falls for RTM.
It's so unfortunate. Tingar on the Lee Sin played that fight so well, going in and coming back out, uh, dipping and diving, dodging and weaving, was able to survive while still keeping his team, close enough to deal damage. Unfortunately, just not enough damage coming out from the Zoe and Jin. Zoe was for half the fight, and RT was able to walk away relatively unscathed.
Yeah,
Which
they'll
is,
lose their mid tower, which is something for sure.
but picking up that second Ocean Drake, continuing to deny that soul, I think that they're okay with the situation. Tendies was able to pick up the Death Dance there. If you didn't need Grievous Wounds now, this is the siren ringing. This is the alarm bells going off. You absolutely have to have Grievous Wounds right now, or that man is never going to die. And iGlory didn't pick it up, opting for the QSS instead, which, and against the Malzahar, you have to build QSS tax, also against Morgana, but, at this point in the game, you need Grievous Wounds. You need it. It's Tendies.
Tendies looking for Lost, drop the Chalupa, gets the knockback. More dashes, it's just going to be the trade. He gets the ultimate basically for free.
But he's going to heal back to full off these minions. It's just, he can continue to do this over and over. And Maokai, who normally has pretty good sustain, there's nothing he's going to be able to do about this, He's probably fine for this wave, but come next wave, or maybe the wave afterwards, he's going to get dove or have to give up this turret here.
Yep, hits the stun. There's the reset. He'll dash forward. Another flash over the wall, but Tendies picks up the solo kill. And still ticking down. He'll be fine, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
If he's
iGlory.
able to
Oh,
hold
no,
off.
iGlory.
Ooh.
Oh, he's not in range for
Little
the
does
dash.
he
Now he
know,
walks into
Vanguard's
range,
edge.
though. And the ace in the hole almost picks that one up. The W finally
Oh,
does.
God.
Tendies turns this one around. A double kill for him. Tingar will be the third sacrifice to the Tendies god. The triple kill, he's full health. I don't know.
And there must have been a miscommunication there. There's no way that Jin should walk up there if he knows that Aurelia still has the Vanguard's Edge available. And Tendies had it available, and not only that, he was, even with the massive Karma heal and shield, he was still able to apply so much pressure there and walk away without dying. Again, no Grievous Wounds means he's able to lifesteal for free through that fight and just is absolutely unkillable. Is Cupperdang... Oh?
I think he was trying to bait. Is it going to be enough? It is! The,
The redemption,
the
picking it
redemption
up.
from Maximus is enough.
And that was an interesting interaction where Malzahar channeled the ultimate, but Zoe was able to get the Sleepy Trouble bubble off, so it was actually canceled by that. But either way, able to get just enough damage out. It's pretty unlucky there for Cupperdang that Lost in rotation on the Zoe was able to get the full damage Q off blind into the bush. That said, looking at the inventory, Tendies is picking up more lifesteal, has the QSS, is on his way towards that Mercurial Scimitar, and with all this lifesteal, somebody has to press tab and look at that, right? Somebody has to pick up the Grievous.
You're calling for it. You've been calling for it for 10 minutes, and it's still only in the Maokai's inventory.
Yeah. That's it. Baron buff for ROTM. They did a good job of taking advantage of those picks, bringing this this massive Aurelia around. We'll see how much they're able to get with this buff. Tendi should be completely unstoppable down here. He should be able to get this turret and the next turret.
He's just
Maokai
ignoring
just beating on him, and he heals the full. Oh no. Lee Sin and Karma are coming though. Honestly, I think Tendi's wins this either way.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he can just turn this.
yeah, he's
No.
trying to. Tingar's taken really low. Vanguard's Edge comes out. Still no real CC being applied to him. Now that Q might connect, is that actually enough? Tendi's still autoing through. Lost in rotations here, throws the bubble in. Meanwhile, 3 members of RTM pushing down on that mid inhibitor. They'll be able to take that one relatively for free. Ooh, all right.
Liposuction. Oh my god.
Prodigium. The snare comes down on to the Zoe. Cupper Dang going to be the sacrifice for this as Jin takes him down. Another shot coming through. Curtain call, not going to be enough.
And that's just the power of this Aurelia. Aurelia plus the Nunu were able to 2v4 in that bottom lane and walk away for free. This Maximus is able to zone out for the Ocean Drake.
Yeah, Maximus and Prodigium's doing a decent enough job over here on the side. Killed over Peacemaker, just chunking through.
Oh my
Flash
god,
forward,
Zoe's still
Lost in
going!
rotation still. Oh, he gets caught though by Maximus, and the redemption is enough to keep him topped off and alive. He was feeling it, but just not quite enough for Lost in
I
rotation.
feel like that's just a frustration play, feeling like you're bleeding out and you have to make something happen. And unfortunately, just not quite enough damage there. And Caitlyn was able to get the crit off and just do so much damage to the Zoe.
Yeah, it's such a rough. Remember, we were talking about Lost in rotation being 6-0-1. Now he's
Yeah,
6-4. This mid game just has not gone his way.
And it's not like he's not landing his abilities when they do line up. We saw even at the beginning of that fight, Lost in Rotation was able to take out 90% of Prodigium's health before the fight even started. But there's just nothing else going their way. There's no other damage, no follow-up. And oh my god. Meanwhile, our team was able to pick up the Ocean Drake. Now, maybe Ocean Soul would actually be beneficial to Lost in Chalupa, because then there's all that in-combat healing, and they would think about Grievous Wounds.
They're gonna catch
We might not
Maokai at
get
the front
that
of this. Oh, the dash forward, fly, and Eye Glory taken really low. Tendi's still tanking through. He gets kicked back in, just dashing through. Double kill for Prodigium. Tingar flies in. Tendi's is still alive. He's healing so much. It's a triple kill for Prodigium. It's the full house completed by Tendi's 2, and it'll be game number 2 for Return of the Middle Sticks.
It's just an entirely different game as, this time around, Tendi's was still able to get that lead, but the bottom lane of ROTM was able to hold firm and not hemorrhage kills the same way they did in game 1, and really well done to them as they were able to weather the storm and wait until the Tendi's 2 train came online to to carry them to the end.
Whew.
Wow.
All right. So 30 minutes of gameplay later, we're tied at 1, and we'll head to game number 3 here in just a second. Do you think Caitlyn gets through?
I mean, there's no way. Caitlyn has been applying so much pressure. If you're lost in Chalupa, either you need to draft a top lane matchup that isn't just going to get absolutely shit on, or you need to make sure that the enemy bot lane is something that can be dove over and over and over. It's one of the two options right now because, when you did leave your top lane on an island and you weren't able to continually dive the Caitlyn Morgana, this is what happens. Tendi's 2 just takes over the game. Honestly, I'd like to see Drop the Chalupa play something like Poppy. An early game tank that's able to, be tanky, able to deal damage and sort of weather the storm of champions like Aurelia, like Riven, that Tendi's is known to play.
Yeah, so we'll step aside for just a couple minutes while we load up game number 3.
Still no Grievous at the end of that game.
Yeah, a little unlucky there on the Grievous.
Bad RNG. They didn't RNG an Executioner's that game. The Krugs just didn't drop one for him. Don't you hate that?
Yeah, I really need to get that red buff.
True, true. He did pick Riven. Oh, sorry, spoilers. He's picking Riven this game.
Right, I'm gonna be right back.
No worries.
Alright, I'm back. I'm ready, if you are.
Give me just a second.
Okay.
Alright, I should be ready.
Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for game number 3 between Lost and Chalupa and ROTM. Yeah, this one's gonna decide the series, and as we see, there's no Caitlyn. So,
Funny that. No Caitlyn, no Sona, no Lux, so I imagine quite a few bans going into the bottom lane this game.
alright, if you're ready, we'll go ahead and start it up.
I am ready.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, begin. Alright, so on the bottom side of the rift, wearing the blue health bars for game number 3 will be Lost in Chalupa. In the top lane, drop the Chalupa, reprising his role on Maokai. Tingar in the jungle on Volibear. Lost in rotation on Galio, which we saw in game number 1. I'm happy to see that one. And Iglory and Fly playing Ashe and Thresh.
And they're already walking to the top looking for an invade onto Tendies too. Playing the Riven this game, no Aurelia. Liposuction lane the jungle on the Trundle. Cupperdane playing Ori on the mid lane, and then the Zyricon bottom lane for Prodigium Maximus is. We're seeing the invade.
They're gonna find Tendies. He's got the Q away, gets slowed by the volley.
Oh no, he's BMing. He fucked up the wall jump though. Oh, he has to flash because he BM'd and fucked up the wall jump. That's a little silly.
Yeah, you hate to see it, but now maybe a point of pressure as he lagged. Yeah, you saw it.
Yeah, big lag, big lag.
But drop the Chalupa now with a small advantage up in the top side for the first time in 3 games, and we'll see if he can take advantage of that and grab a little bit of farm for himself.
Opting for the aftershock again. So I think one of the ways that Maokai is usually able to survive tough lanes is by taking grasp and going like the inspiration tree with corrupting pot, right? And then they can just sustain through the lane in the early game, get to the tab, I get to the Bramble Vest, and become a champion. But perhaps extremely scared of the Riven all-in, opts for the aftershock instead, and we'll see if it goes any better than against the Aurelia. That said, Volibear this time for Tingar. We saw Lane play that in the first game,
Ooh,
and
hook from Fly at
Fly,
level 1. Already
good
100%
damage.
success rate on the hook
They're fighting into
attempts.
the wave.
Yeah, they're fighting into the wave.
They don't win
Prodigium's taken
this.
pretty low, and Maximus
Maximus.
walks forward to auto. Iglory is just going to slow him down. The Frost Arrow passive, the volley going to
Oh my
slow him up.
god.
Flash from Fly. Oh, just the dodge thanks to the heal from Maximus.
They didn't have any of their minions left, so once they engage in there, they're still level 1, but they're fighting into a full minion wave, and just not good communication there out of Prodigium and Maximus, as they're already losing this push, and they should be able to hit this level 2 pretty easily underneath this turret, but you know, already back to game 1 in terms of bot lane pressure here for Lost in Chalupa. This is exactly what you want to see. You want to see your bot lane have this pressure, especially against Zyra Khan, who historically has an extremely strong all-in at level 1.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard though. Maximus, forced out of the side of the wave meant that he missed some of the experience, so he's now desynced from Prodigium as well, which can make it even harder to coordinate some of those dives and things. Another hook from Fly.
Yeah, just hooking them in to do some more damage, and already this bot lane is just not going well for RTM. But looking top. At this point in the game, last game, we were already seeing, you know, about a 10-15 CS lead for Tendies 2. Looks like he was able to shove the wave in, get a free recall, get the extra longsword, and it's gonna mosey his way back up onto the top side, but drop the Chalupa. Has a CS lead right now. Admittedly, there's, you know, a couple waves that are gonna be crashing into Tendies, but um, already a little bit better for him there in the top lane.
Yeah, and Lost in Rotation's been kind of feeling it. We've seen him go for these trades pretty aggressively in the mid lane and getting a little bit better of Cupper Dang on those. Broken Wing's going to land into the stun, into the pillar now. Teleport being channeled in as Tendi's going to go ahead and fly out of here as Lost in Rotation trying to collapse. He'll hit the stun onto Liposuck. Oh, no, he won't. Never mind, that was a flash from lane. Lost in Rotation, though, he takes it. That's a first blood for Lost in Chalupa, and now Liposuction lane in trouble. Do they have any more CC? They don't, as Cupperdang able to collapse and get the shield on.
I was actually certain ROTM would win that fight, but they waited a bit too long. Galio was able to get a second rotation of his spells and just did so much damage to Tendies.
I really like the way Iglory plays the range of this turret in the bottom lane. He keeps layering in just, even if it's just individual autos onto Maximus and Prodigium, but he's not taking tower shots in return. It's been really nice to see from him.
Is doing a really good job. This Ashe, especially with the volley, just has so much range. It's hard for a champion like Rakan to play in this lane once you lose your pressure. You know, once you're getting shoved under turret, you already are at a disadvantage and you can no longer threaten an all-in. You just sort of get poked out. As we saw, Maximus was forced to take an early recall. That's it. That play in that top lane, I like that Liposuction lane was looking for the gank, looking to get Tendies 2 ahead, and that was off of that bounced wave that gave Tendies a free recall. If they were able to get that kill on to drop the Chalupa, Tendies could have permafroze that wave forever, and we would have seen a replay of game 2. But, you know, good job by Lost in Rotation, teleporting up there. Lost in Rotation has just been an absolute rock for Lost in Chalupa this series. You know, in game 1 on the Galio, did so much work, put out so much damage. Game 2 was sort of the soul-saving grace on the Zoe, and this time, see if he's able to have as much of an impact here on the Galio.
Yeah, Tingar going to grab a little invade, go ahead and take away the Krugs. But it is going to cost him the dragon, as Prodigium still has not backed, kind of importantly, but they'll catch the recalls from Iglory and Fly and be able to start stacking these dragons here at 6 minutes.
Yeah, it's a pretty good timing there. They knew that the enemy bot lane had recalled, so they're able to walk up, get the dragon, and the issue is Prodigium needs to get a recall off if they cancel this.
Yeah, he's on the list. Oh, what was that? That hook, Prodigium. Forced to cleanse, he flashes over the wall, but now Maximus is in trouble. He's going to get torn to shreds. Gets the flash away, not quite able to get the distance. And now Iglory collapses onto Prodigium, and he'll take down that AD carry showdown. What a hook, though, from Fly.
What an amazing hook that set up the Galio CC, and well done. And that's off the back of that vision, like that ward right there that Prodigium unfortunately recalled on. is able to set them up. Prodigium, if he was able to get away, would have gotten, just a fine recall and wouldn't have been punished for sticking around. But because of that, he stuck around a little bit too long over the wall trying to help out Maximus and ends up paying the price. Now, missing out on the 2 waves here that are crashing in. And, it's the CS is evened out right now, but
And
it's
this
just
looks
quite a bit
familiar from
lost.
game number 1, though. Maximus and
Volibear
Prodigium
has
pushed into
ult.
tower. Volibear going to turn off the tower. They'll get the Galio ult on top. Prodigium falls, and so will Maximus. What a clean dive from Lost in Chalupa as they're picking on Maximus and Prodigium.
Already returning back to that game 1, doing a great job here with the Galio, with the Volibears, turning off the turret, and just setting up this play off the back of ROTM's bot lane, not having any summoners. And it's just so good there. Now, a pretty significant lead. What was going to be pretty even. Now, this Ashe is going to be so far ahead in XP. They even get the first turret. Just really good for them. What this even means is that they're going to be able to rotate their bottom lane to the top, relieve the Maokai, so he's no longer has to deal with this shit, in the Riven lane. Now he's just going to chill underneath his turret and pick up farm. And Ashe Thresh, there's no way Riven can fight that. So they are going to rotate their bottom lane, top lane. Oh,
I was
there we
like,
go.
yeah.
Okay, I was going to say the offset recalls. They're going to end up swapping their lanes around as well. But the Maokai should be able to just chill underneath his turret here. He's not hemorrhaging like he was last game. This isn't like a 4-0 Riven. He's down 18 CS, but based on the way the rest of the map is going, you don't care that you're down 18 CS.
Yeah, he's got the assist to help equalize a little bit of that, but yeah, you're fine if you're Maokai right now.
Honestly, if at 15-20 minutes, if you're down 40 CS, but Riven doesn't have any kills, I think you're okay with that. You're going to outscale eventually anyway. You have the lockdown. Just don't end. As the rest
Lost
of
in
the team...
rotation just finds Cupper
God.
Dang, that aftershock proc, doing an extra chunk of damage as Dang just trying to throw some autos in there. Rift Herald being threatened right now. Tingar hasn't started up yet, or maybe he's on it just out of the pit.
I think he's pulling it out. Yeah.
Another taunt lands onto Lost in rotation, forces the ultimate out of Cupper Dang. Tendies is there looking for it. We're going to watch iGlory in the top lane, just getting some volleys, getting some damage down. Knock up from Maximus as he hits that battle dance. That's a great pillar, though, from Liposuction lane, but it'll just force the Lantern out. Now Tendi's looking to collapse, hits the ultimate, trying to find that wind slash onto Lost in rotation. Can he collapse on this? He's got the ward, he dashes over the wall, hits the stun, he'll get one. Drop the Chalupa, forced to knock him away with the Bramble Smash. More autos coming through. Flash away as Tendi's looks to follow. Got the broken wings, has the knock up, and a couple more autos as Tendi's cleans up 2 kills.
Lost in rotation, drop the Chalupa. Your job was just to chill and not feed Tendies any kills. They get a little greedy with their flashes there, wait a little bit longer, and Tendies 2, now 2-1-0 on this Riven. This is exactly what you don't want to see.
This is a 3v3 here in the top lane that is super weird. They're going to collapse on lane and force him back out. Oh, he just flashes over the wall. That was super weird. Tingar ults over one side, and the immediate flash back over from Liposuction lane gets him out to safety.
Yeah, in Liposuction lane, I like his positioning here. He's saving his duo lane from getting dove. They are going to lose this turret, probably.
Yeah, Lost in rotations here. Going to hit a big stun. They're trying to trade this one back. Maximus falls, the hook back away. They'll trade one back. Is Prodigium able to pull him back with the Blade Collar? They get 2. Lane's going to fall. It's 2 for 2, but I don't think they can track down Prodigium. They're going to get that turret, so it's going to be a net positive for Lost in Chalupa. But 2 kills for ROTM means that they're at least trading a little bit of gold back.
Absolutely, and with Tendies getting the lead on the other side of the map, as long as they're not hemorrhaging kills or hemorrhaging turrets, losing this isn't that big of a deal. They're able to trade back in. They even made Lost in rotation rotate up there to make that play. So Cupper Dang is farming for free in that mid lane, now a 20 CS lead, and Lost in Chalupa isn't even going to be able to get this turret on this wave. Going to have to stick around for another one, and this is extremely good for ROTM because this means that they're able to get that second dragon for free.
Yeah,
assumedly they can get it for free.
Yeah, there's no way that iGlory and Fly can join up. They're going to leave Prodigium up here, but it's a 4v3 on that side no matter what.
Prodigium, you don't need to be up there, bud. Just just wait for them to clear the turret.
Drop
There's
the
just no
Chalupa.
reason.
Almost tries to go for the steal with the Maokai ult. It's not going to be in time, though. It'll just be the Cloud Dragon, and now Mountain Rift going to take over.
Yeah, which Mountain Soul would be pretty good for the side of Lost and Chalupa, less good for ROTM, but you know, Tendies, once she gets the Death Stance on the Riven, will be pretty happy to have the extra stats, so not too upset. Another argument against Aftershock on Maokai is that you're playing against Trundle, so if Trundle's able to get the ult off on your Aftershocked Maokai or Aftershocked Galio, he's just going to be so insanely tanky. Yeah.
Yep, more autos coming through. Just the pillar forces them to back away for the time being, but iGlory and Fly putting on so much pressure. They've got 2 towers to their names already. Now they're going to try to return to the king. That was a really bad joke. Anyway, Lost in Rotation's in a lot of trouble. He's going to get knocked up. Tendies finishes him off with the Wind Slash, and now Tingar going to try his hand at this, and that's not going to go any better for him. Maximus with a big knock up the Battle Dance into the Quickening. Good snare going down as they're able to track down Fly, but iGlory just with the Ranger's focus pelting him in. They'll trade 1 for 1, potentially. Ult from Prodigium. Doesn't quite have the recall on the feathers. iGlory flashes over the wall for the volley. It's a double kill for him. Tingar finds Liposuction Lane, trying to tear into him. He's got a 2-level advantage, but he doesn't have any health. Liposuction Lane forced back away as iGlory throws the volley at him. Tendies is pretty low as well, but everybody going to back away. It's just the 2 for 2, or 2 for 1 in the mid lane.
Tingar in that 1v2 after his mid laner died actually did pretty well. Tendies was barely able to get away with just a sliver of HP. So Tingar on the Volibear is pretty strong, but this dual lane of iGlory and Fly has just been doing so well this series. You know, even when they're applying pressure onto the turret, they're using the Thresh Lantern to make sure the Ashe is safe to auto. But they're able to pick up 2 kills onto the Ashe. 4-0 and 3 now. You know, much closer to game 1 than game 2 here for the bottom lane. Just really well played by them.
Yeah, but Prodigium isn't in as bad a spot as he was in game number 1 on that Ziggs. Sitting at 2 and 3, has 98 CS. You know, not quite to that same item completion level as Ashe, but hanging around at least.
Ashe is sitting on a lot of gold. There's almost a 2,200 gold lead there just for 80 carries. As iGlory's pretty massive, but Lost in Rotation and proto-melting at Orianna just making her scared a little bit, making her back up there.
Yeah, luckily has that phase rush available to pop out. Tendies maybe looking for drop. The Chalupa takes a little chunk from the turret. Lane and Dang trying to farm up their Gromp right now. Ultimate going to just grab Lost in Rotation, the smite away on the Gromp. He'll at least secure his own jungle camps. Drop the Chalupa, scouting out with some of those saplings, able to find Tendies looking for him for that bushwhack in the side. And for now, it's calmed down just a little bit. As I say that.
Oh no. Tendies using the ultimate, going in.
Not
That's
quite.
the Aftershock, though.
Yeah, not quite an execute range. Throws it into the Aftershock. Knock back. They're going to
drop the Chalupa
with the solo kill on Tendies.
Pog, able to pick that up. Even though he's down CS, down kills, down items, was able to kite out around that turret extremely well. Got the flash forward to use the Bramble Smash and knock Tendies 2 back underneath turret, and that's pretty good for this matchup that, you know, sort of is the strong point for ROTM right now. Tendies 2 walking a bit too far forward, and well done by Drop the Chalupa. That said, looking at the itemization, Tendies 2 is well on his way to a Death Dance. I'd really like to see Maokai pick up a Bramble Vest. At least for the 1v1.
Yeah, I think that's what that cloth armor is for. He just doesn't quite have that.
So I don't play top lane. I'm not a top lane main. Isn't the play against like Aurelia and Riven to just go Tabi Bramble Vest and then you can never die?
Yeah, it usually is.
Then why go Sunfire?
You know,
as we see,
get some farm.
The cleanse forced out from Orianna.
Flash Flay on the Cupper Dang. He's still looking for it. Collapse from this side. Fly is taken pretty low. Has the Gargoyle Stone Plate. Tendies is able to join. Prodigium's pretty low. Tendies goes over the wall. Maximus is still looking for it as he collapses from the side, not able to find that initiation. He'll just dash out to safety. A lot of ultimates exchanged, a lot of abilities, but nobody falls. Now Tendies finds drop the Chalupa. Pillar actually might be working against Tendies here as he's forced back over the wall. Ultimate not great from Cupperdang. He only gets one as Iglory's still kiting him out. This is so close right now. More damage coming through. Prodigium, they'll find Tingar. He'll jump forward with the ultimate. The taunt from Lost in Rotation, though, on the other side of the fight. Tendies is tearing through. Lost in Rotation forced to ult back away. They're trying to collapse on these three people. They'll take down Prodigium. It's a double kill for Tingar. Liposuction Lane just fighting his way out of that. Can't quite track down Tingar. They'll finish him off as Fly takes that kill. And Lost in Chalupa finds the 3-for-1.
Which is surprising, as in the middle of that fight, as they're chasing down ROTM, they lost track of Tendies 2 on the Riven, was able to get into the backline in a 1v3, pick up a kill, and it looked like at that point ROTM might be able to turn it back around, but Lost in Chalupa doing a good job there to pull it out and, you know, pick up the kills there, as well as the Mountain Drake, which every single one of their champions absolutely loves.
Yeah, and more importantly, it delays that soul as well. Now ROTM not on that clock for the super early Mountain Soul that I don't have any timers up for and haven't for the last 3 games. There we go. But now, you know, just not on that quick clock. I'm going to repeat myself because I forgot what I was trying to say. Yeah. But they're not on the clock for that quick Mountain Soul, which means that small window that they were going to hit where they were super strong is... you know, delayed a little bit later.
Yeah, what could have been, you know, a 23, 24 minute soul, now we're looking at, you know, minimum of, you know, 29, 30 minutes. Which is always good for Lost in Chalupa, denying that win condition for ROTM. That said, I'm not sure. Going late, I'm not sure which team benefits more from that. Xayah is, of course, amazing on 3 and 4 items, as is Orianna. But just the absolute tankiness coming out of Lost in Chalupa in this late game, you know, from the Maokai, from the Volibear, and even from the Galio. I'm not sure who it benefits more.
Yeah, really important item spikes hit, though. Tendies 2 finishes up his Death's Dance, even grabs himself a stopwatch just for a little bit more playmaking potential. And Iglory finishes his Runon's Hurricane and that Bramble Vest for Drop the Chalupa.
And right now, looking at the 80 carries in inventory, Ashe is up almost a full item on Prodigium. Just has been picking up a lot of these kills, has been picking up a lot of CS, a lot of the turret gold as well, and just is going to be putting out so much damage in these fights. If Lost in Chalupa is able to keep the Riven away from the Ashe, then, you know, that's sort of their win condition in these fights. Is with all of this front line, that is sort of their only consistent DPS source. You know, the other being Galio, who has quite a bit of burst, but you know, once that's gone, is going to have trouble.
Oh, a really good pillar though from Liposuction Lane. Not going to matter.
Fly
He's been doing really well, just
so well.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. We can talk about the pillars.
Oh,
the pillars
I was going to say,
good.
Yeah, he's been just nestling them into terrain, extending it, really trapping people. I really like that. But yeah, Fly has been everywhere that Trundle has been able to just lantern everyone out to safety once they get pillared in.
Not only that, but, you know, a fight back was able to start everything by hitting just every single ability. Is Tendies.
Yeah. Tendies looking for it, hits the Wind Slash, he just chunks through. The solo kill for Tendies. Now Tingar maybe looking for this on the side. He has the ult available. Jumps over the wall, gonna try to find Tendies. Yeah, hits the Sky Splitter, not able to get the damage.
Fly and Iglory are coming.
Oh, that hook, though, from Fly as he tracks Tendies down over the wall. He's trying to bait like somebody's over there. The Ashe Arrow lands over the wall. Tendies will fall as the volley comes through from Iglory.
Yeah, Fly and Tingar able to stall just long enough and able to pick up that kill, and they're starting up the Baron. With Tendies down for 30 seconds, they might be able to do this. Liposuction Lane, though, might smell it out, is going to see them on it.
Yeah, teleport coming in, though, from Drop the Chalupa. They're kiting back away, but Prodigium's doing so much damage, not quite able to finish off Tingar, though. Now back away. He'll cleanse away from Drop the Chalupa. The Smite actually finishes off the junglers. Have a collision there. Lane is still alive. He'll get healed by Maximus. he's burning down. He was going to eventually fall, and now Maximus. Oh, the teleport in. That's Tendi's, though, as he comes on to the ward. He gets away from the Galio. The ultimate from Orion is enough. The double knockup. Lost in rotation's low now. Drop the Chalupa. Still fighting this one out. The two eponymous laners not quite able to do it. It's a double kill for Cupper Dang as Tendi's is looking for more. Fly is super low. Lane is still alive over here. Gets the autos down. Fly will die. And Maximus gets the knockup. Drop the Chalupa will fall. It's almost an ace because Tingar just respawned, but now RTM's just going to layer into this turret.
A disaster in the extended fight as they're caught at the Baron. They were able to turn around and try to get the kill, but Liposuction Lane just survived forever. And once Iglory goes down, there's just not enough damage. Volibear Tingar used his ultimate to catch out Tendi's earlier, didn't have it for the fight, so he gets bursted down instantly. And even when Tendi's, as we see Cupperdang
has the phase rush, but it's not fast enough to get away from the bear. He's got the flash, though.
Oh,
but
no,
Tendi's is here. They're going to find Tingar into the Broken Wings. The knockup, they'll dash away. It gets knocked up. The Orianna ult just going to say hello to Lost in Rotation. But
in that last fight with the Tendi's 2 re-engage with the teleport, Lost in Rotation has been so consistent this entire game, ends up mistiming the taunt, which allows Tendi's 2 to just immediately hop on backline and just...
How is Galio already bottom? Oh, he teleported back in. They're going to collapse onto Liposuction Lane. They'll start getting autos down. He's so low, he'll be taken down. It's another kill for Ashe. They're onto the dragon right now as another hook lands from Fly. Prodigium forced to ult, but he's going to get the snares. The jump forward from Tingar isn't quite enough. Prodigium is going to fall. A hook, though, lands onto Tendi's. He's trying to turn this back around. Fly forced to use that. The ult, he'll take down Ashe. Iglory's down. Fly is low as well. Double buffs on Tendi's as he dashes forward. More CC coming through, but he's got the double kill. Tendi's is popping off. Tingar dies. It's a triple kill. Maximus is hanging around just looking for this on to drop the Chalupa. More knockups, more shields, more coming through. Drop the Chalupa's taken low. It should be the quadra kill for Tendi's. What a man! Tendi's 2 just turns that fight by himself.
Was able to get onto Iglory, who on this Ashe has been playing the range so well this entire game. 2 fights in a row, is able to get caught and burst it out so quickly. And Tendi's 2, what could have been a Baron for Lost in Chalupa, he's able to stop that, pick up the kills there, and is just an absolute monster now. God, has the finished Guardian Angel, so even if Lost in Chalupa is able to pick him off, able to get the kill, he's going to be coming back. God, just ROTM is relying so much on Tendi's to keep them in these fights.
Yeah, look at the Tendi's diff in gold right now. He's 6,000 gold ahead of Maokai.
Oh my god. He's just so strong. He's picking up lethality. It's going to be so hard to lock him down now. Admittedly, he doesn't have tenacity, so if there is a world where they're able to just CC lock him forever,
maybe
but they
right
need
now
if
they get the hook onto him. Tendi's able to dash back away. He stays alive though. The Death Stance healing is more than enough. Maximus just buys distance. It was a really good quickening from him actually, just to kind of muck up that engage from Lost in Chalupa, and now a lot of those ultimates, actually all of them are down. Flies is the only one that's coming up relatively soon. He'll land another hook, though, onto Cupperdang. He's going to follow it in. They'll try to snare up Cupperdang, but they don't have the damage to tear through. It's so slow. The ultimate from Dang is they turn that one back around. Tendi's is onto the back line. He's onto Iglory. He'll get taunted, gets the knockup, but now he's into the Guardian Angel. They finally are able to stop him for just a second. Drop the Chalupa's in trouble. He's going to go down as Tendi's is now dominating 11-3, and that should be the Baron for ROTM.
And it's insane how in all of these fights, Tendi's 2 is just able to make it onto the backline, into a Thresh, into a Galio, into a Maokai, still able to find Ashe and burst him out. As Fly and Iglory are trying to pressure them off the Baron here. Oh no,
Tendi's is coming from the side. He's found Fly. They'll find Ashe. They'll find Thresh as well, and they'll turn back onto the Baron. It did reset.
But now there's no one alive to contest it. There's no way Volibear makes it in time, and this should be Baron going over to ROTM. After the extended fight, now having a gold lead, now having the kill lead, picking up the Baron buff. Oh, he mistimed the recall. Maximus wasn't able to get the Lover's Lane recall. but it doesn't matter. No one's there to catch him out, and ROTM is poised now to see if they're able to break this base or close out the game here in the next few minutes. Tendies 2 lost the GA in the last fight, but this time around has a QSS, so locking him down is going to make that even harder. And
yeah, minute
I don't know,
17 on
lost in
this
Chalupa.
dragon. I don't think you need to contest this if you're lost in Chalupa.
Absolutely
when,
not.
When are you looking to fight then? Is it just on the steps of your base? Is it the next Baron? Like, what objective is valuable enough if you're lost in Chalupa?
It has to be. So you have to wait for Ashe to finish her Infinity Edge. I think she's grabbing that right now. Yeah, she's gonna wait for about 15 gold to pick that up. Once she has that, you know, there are fights that you can take that you can win. But it has to be underneath an inhibitor turret. You give up these tier 2s, that's fine. But you can't lose. I mean, you just try and save inhibitors and stall the game for 5 more minutes.
Ultimate lands on to drop the Chalupa. This is not what you need to be picked right now. He's pretty low, but they're trying to turn this one back around. Prodigium is actually chunked really far, but now they're trying to collapse onto the backline as Tendies gets caught. He's healing through everything as Maximus dashes in. The double onto the backline. They'll find iGlory. He'll go down eventually. Maximus gets caught as well. They'll lose the turret in exchange. Maximus just taking him for a run. Here, the Flay not quite able to connect, but the hook does, and that'll be the end of Rakan. It's a double kill for Drop the Chalupa.
But there's no damage left for Drop the Chalupa. And, you know, Tendies dove in 1v3, 1v4, looking for that Ashe. You know, he might get the credit for the kill, but it was Maximus, actually, who was able to lock down the Ashe and, you know, set him up for Tendies. And Drop the Chalupa is actually teleporting in, trying to contest this dragon, perhaps thinking
it was a double
Mountain
TP.
Souls,
Lost in rotations there as well. And they think that
they're going to be able to get this. Mountain Soul might be what they're considering the win condition for them. Is they're going to be able to pick this one up eventually. It's slow going without, you know, any sort of consistent DPS, but they pick it up. Now on Soul Point here in, you know, 5 minutes, start the timer.
Yeah, a couple of
And more
Baron buffs
importantly,
still alive. I don't think those are on for very long for Dang. And
definitely not very long. It's very important that they were able to stop that push and deny ROTM from getting more than just a single turret and a couple kills. You know, pushing becomes so much harder without that Baron buff, and these fights become a lot more winnable. As Drop the Chalupa just sort of wants to stall it out for their Ashe to hit items points where, you know, she's able to kill this Riven. You know, push through all the healing and push through the, you know, everything that the Riven has going for them.
Yeah, 245 on that Baron is the next big point of contention. Do you think that if you're lost in Chalupa, you have to fight for that? Or are you just banking your fight on that Soul Point fight here in 4 minutes?
I feel like the issue is if you give up Baron, then ROTM's going to have Baron for the next fight. They're going to have it for that Dragon fight, which just makes it that much harder to win. Admittedly, you just won a fight where ROTM had it, but that was with, you know, Riven diving in 1v4 solo with only Maximus following him up. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say where you make your...
Oh, they're looking for the Ashe, are not able to find it on a Prodigium. It's still a tense moment. They're going to be forced to back off. They can't overextend right now. Or Tendies could teleport behind and just wreck them. Look at that ward behind them in the lane right now. Oh, look at that ping on it. He knows.
Oh,
Tendies is teleporting in. They're going for it. Lane trying to collapse onto this. The teleport comes in. They find Tendies. Who's found who, though? Maximus goes in. He hits the quickening. They'll snare up, drop the Chalupa. He's going to be
Tendies found
taken
Ashe!
down. Tendies found Ashe. We didn't even get to see that. But he finds the ADC. They'll find the two frontliners as well. And Tingar and Fly are the only two left alive. Tendies into the backline. Forces the Gargoyle Stone Plate out. But that should be the inhibitor turret. And they can continue pressuring in. It's still 27 seconds on iGlory.
There's no damage left to stop them. They have the wave coming in. ROTM should be able to end the game right here.
Inhibitor number 1 going to fall as they push in on the mid lane. They'll escort the minions into the Nexus towers. Tingar just trying to find some distance. Hook lands onto somebody because I heard it hit, but Tendies is just going on to Fly. They'll finish off Tingar. They'll finish off Fly. And now with the Death Timers staggered. That should be it. Nexus turret number 1 falls. He'll flash forward onto iGlory,
No.
gets the stun, has Wind Slash available, but not. It doesn't even need to use it. Tendy's on to drop the Chalupa as well. The Nexus is under fire, and that'll be it. ROTM going to take home this series 2-1 eventually. We're still going to fight for a while, I guess.
Prodigium, the only one that's hitting the Nexus, and even then, stopping for a kill, stopping for the CS, but ROTM able to pull it out in the end off the back of Tendy's 2 just finding iGlory in every single fight. Wow, just so impressive. Into champions like Maokai, like Gallia, like Thresh, still able to get onto Ashe in every single fight, and just well done to ROTM as they win the last 2 games off the back of Tendy's 2.
Yeah, and that 1v4 in the bottom lane was just jaw-dropping. Tendy's just solo winning the game. There's no other way to describe it. Man, what a monster. So yeah, 2-1 for ROTM. They'll improve to 6-2 now on the season. Lost in Chalupa falls to 4-4. And yeah, just a couple of games left to try to solidify where those playoffs are going, and I don't know. I'm pretty excited. Thanks for the clip there, Lane. I'm sure everybody will want to check that out. If you're watching and don't follow the stream, please do. It'll help us out. We're very close to affiliate. I think it's like 3 or 4 followers now. It might be a couple more than that, but it's not more than 10. I'll give you that much. So, yeah, now that I'm done shilling, thanks, Aikedo, for joining me today. Hopefully you enjoyed the games as well.
Anytime, they were fun games. Fun games. Jeez.
So yeah, thanks everybody. We'll see you sometime soon.
That's a funny name, 10 out of 10Ds.
Oh, and thanks for following earlier, Cardinals. If you're still here.